Welcome everyone for joining. We appreciate you joining us today for our April collaborative meeting focused on the Center of Workforce Innovation for Supply Chain. We have concluded the first year of the New Jersey Pathways to Career Opportunity. Excuse me, we're so excited about the level of engagement we've had from all of you and others. We've amassed over 1,200 industry and education partners in our collaboratives, and within the 10 centers of workforce innovation, we've had the pleasure of 17 community colleges, 20 high schools, 9 four-year colleges and universities, 8 labor unions, as well as 4 other community-based training providers and education associations. And so we're so happy that they work together in those centers of workforce innovation to connect pathways from high school to community college to four-year colleges and universities to labor unions to community-based training providers, so that any student, adult learner in the state of New Jersey, no matter where they get their education or training, can actually be working toward a credential or a degree. It's all about credential and a degree attainment so that all of New Jersey residents can have upward mobility in the careers in which they can thrive and support their families, all the while benefiting employers, with a skilled workforce that's ready to move our economy forward. So we're so happy at the level of engagement that we've received. Certainly within the center, we are happy for all of the partners. I know that Glenn is going to address our education partners and our industry partners. We are looking forward to year 2. I think I might be speaking about that a little bit later, very briefly, but we wanted to take this time to highlight what our education partners did within the Center of Workforce Innovation for Supply Chain Management. I am hoping that we have our main industry partner online to give some opening remarks. Chris Emmelholtz, are you there? And maybe he was not available for today. I know many of you know it is budget season, and so certainly the New Jersey Business and Industry Association is busy advocating for budget line items for our colleges as well as their member businesses. I do want to acknowledge the presidents of the community colleges that are part of the Center of Workforce Innovation for Supply Chain Management: Dr. Christopher Reber, Dr. Michael Gorman, Dr. Michael Ciosi, and Dr. Maggie McMiniman. Having Hudson County Community College, Salem Community College, Rowan College at Burlington County, and Union County as the anchor institutions for our Center Workforce Innovation for Supply Chain has really allowed for them to connect up and down the pathway of education and training. And we're just so pleased that these presidents afforded their staff and faculty to work on all of these pathway connections. So thank you to these 4 presidents. Next slide. I don't think Chris is here. Like I said, this is budget season and there's a lot going on. So I'm going to kick the program off to Glenn Best, our Director of Manufacturing and Supply Chain Management Strategy and Workforce Partnership. Glenn.
Thank you, Catherine. And welcome again to everyone who is joining us here to learn more about the accomplishments of our Center for Workforce Innovation in Supply Chain Logistics. Our Center for Workforce Innovation in Supply Chain Logistics is comprised of our 4 community colleges, as Catherine mentioned, and they've worked collectively over the past year to enhance and to expand existing programs as they're looking forward to the future needs of the industry and the workforce. Next slide. The work of the center included collaboration with our educational ecosystems partners, who play a critical role to the Pathways journey for our learners. And it's our hope to continue expanding these educational partnerships during the next phase of our initiative. Next slide. Simultaneously, the Pathways Initiative has been intentional in engaging our industry partners as allies with our centers. NJBIA has been instrumental to this effort, as Catherine mentioned, helping to convene our industry leadership team comprised of C-suite executives representing the supply chain logistics sector. Together, they have provided invaluable intel to the work of our center as they seek to align curriculum with the needs of the industry and to ensure that New Jersey has the most skilled, innovative, inclusive, and equitable workforce for years to come. In year one, we sought to accomplish 4 initial objectives, which included developing a strategic workforce plan for the supply chain logistics industry, creating a statewide inventory of education and training programs offered by our colleges and facilities. We believe that's critical to providing guidance to the public about the on-ramps and off-ramps into our schools and pathways to careers. We also chose to identify labor market demand challenges and industry value credentials. And we've worked closely with our partner, New Jersey Department of Labor, to validate the trends in labor market demands for New Jersey in this sector. And then also to develop career maps that can be shared with our educational partners that would help to assist the public and our partners to be informed on what pathways into supply chain logistics would look like. And as Catherine often states, as well as Aaron, this is an ambitious effort of statewide collaboration between our community colleges. They represent the largest workforce entity across the state of New Jersey and a broad sector of educational ecosystem partners, from CTE schools to workforce boards to community-based organizations and our 4-year university partners. The efforts of our 10 centers have now created a new awareness of the importance of these programs to the workforce and to the residents of New Jersey. Now I'd like to take a moment to introduce the members of our Center for Workforce Innovation and Supply Chain Logistics who will be sharing information about the accomplishments of our center today. Dr. Lisa Huston.
Glenn, I'm sorry, Glenn,
Yes.
Chris did manage to get.
Oh, my apologies. I didn't know.
That is okay. Thank you for being so flexible. If we could afford Chris the opportunity to speak briefly now, that would be great.
Thank you, Catherine. Thank you very much, Glenn. Very sorry to interrupt, as I know you're getting to far more important things, Glenn, because I know you've accomplished a lot. This center has accomplished a lot. So I'll be excited to hear these results. And I think all of us on this call, all of us that have been involved with this logistics, obviously supply chain is critical and important. Have a lot to be proud of. So yeah, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Chris Emmyholtz, the Chief Government Affairs Officer with NJBIA, and we are happy, excited, pleased, delighted to partner with all of you and the community colleges on this effort. Pathways there's really nothing more important that I think our state is doing right now, because workforce development, the reason why we love it and the reason why BIA has invested so much in it is really as a win-win. And it's one of the few things that employers and employees are benefiting from, are getting stimulated by. We're growing kind of mutually and benefiting everyone. So I think it's critical that we focus on this. And BIA in this sector always been closer to supply chain logistics. BIA's roots go back as New Jersey Manufacturers Association over 110 years ago. And the importance of this and what you're doing and bringing the community colleges with our K-12 and VOTACs and private career schools and apprenticeship programs and unions and 4-year colleges and you name it, to bring everybody together at the same table and working together on how we make sure we identify what the needs are and meet those needs in the workforce is critical. And there's nothing more important to you. And we need this work. We need you. We need our supply chains and logistics industry to work the way it's supposed to. And we've all seen over the past couple of years when it's not, and we're going to a store or going to a restaurant or we're going waiting for that Amazon delivery and something's delayed and it's not in the store and we can't buy at a restaurant and we can't access it because the supply chain logistics is not working. And a lot of that has been workforce related. And so this is critical. The economy needs you, BIA needs you, community colleges need you, all the providers that I mentioned need you. Your students that are involved and want to get these great jobs in the future, they need you. So thank you very much for your work. There's a lot to be proud of, and BIA looks forward to continue to partner with the community colleges and all of you to make sure this work continues.
Thank you, Chris, and that's a great segue. This work is very important and critical to the state and to our community colleges. It is informed by our industry. The industry helped drive this initiative and the pathways work by providing that real-time intel that's so critical to developing that skilled workforce. So thank you again, Chris, and all the folks at NJBIA to helping lead this effort along with the New Jersey Community College Consortium.
Thank you, Glenn.
Now I'd like to introduce our Center for Workforce Innovation and Supply Chain Logistics team that will be speaking today. Dr. Lisa Hiscano of Union College of Union County, Sean Kerwick of Hudson County Community College, and Dr. Lori Margolin, of Hudson County Community College.
Hi, good afternoon. Thank you very much for this opportunity. I'll be talking a little bit about the connection that we had on to community college on the non-credit side. Rowan College at Burlington County created a memorandum of understanding between Broward College's Center for Supply Chain Education and New Jersey's 18 community colleges for the colleges to offer the curriculum for the 8 SC Pro fundamental certifications. This is a great initiative as Broward College serves as the single representative for the Council of Supply Chain Management Professionals and has been this representative since the development of the credentials in the early 2010s, 2013, 2014. And this will facilitate the offerings of the certifications throughout the community colleges statewide that we've already began to undertake. Also, during this process, this past year at Union College, we were able to finalize our PLA process for our Essentials of Supply Chain Management program, where students have the opportunity to earn 4 of the CSCMP SC Pro fundamental certifications and enroll in the college after they complete the program and receive 6 college credits in a course-by-course mapping of 2 credit courses towards our Supply Chain Management Associate's degree. So that was something that we had been working on, but we were able to finalize it through the efforts that have been going on at Union College throughout this initiative. Next slide, please.
So good afternoon, everybody. Thank you, Lisa. So first, I would just like to thank the New Jersey Council of County Colleges and specifically Glenn and John for their support during the past year and our internal team of Sean Kerwick and Sarah Yagubi. I'd also like to thank our college partners, Union, Salem, RCBC for their work on the Supply Chain and Logistics Center. So just taking a step back for a minute, as Chris mentioned, supply chain and logistics is a huge sector that we've really come to appreciate, I think, more explicitly since the pandemic. And in a sense, supply chain and logistics encompasses everything we do in all centers. It's just behind the scenes there. And since it is so big, we had big goals in our center. And it's important that we built a really strong foundation for our work. And this first year has been extremely productive in building that foundation and beginning to create those robust pathways for students that lead to lifelong careers. And one of the ways that we did that is to streamline the prior learning assessment process. So prior learning assessment is a process to evaluate students' prior coursework or credentials, and it's typically done on an individual student basis. during this year, Hudson County Community College focused on non-credit courses and industry-recognized credentials to articulate them towards an academic certificate or degree. And once this was developed, which we now have, individual students will not be required to go through the process of an individual assessment. We'll just have a blanket internal articulation agreement. So this shortens time for the students in terms of completing their work, and it's also an equity issue. So it's important on both ends. So we have developed a process internally to articulate non-credit to credit courses, and also a template for the agreement. And in this case, we have an agreement in place for 3 of the industry recognized credentials. You see them here on the screen. So if a student has those credentials, they can articulate that for 3 credits each towards credits in our transportation, logistics, and distribution academic certificate and the supply chain management associate degree that we are in the process of developing. So the work we accomplished in the center was also guided by the non-credit to credit alignment lab work that we did, which was funded by ACCT and the Education Strategy Group. And we were one of 14 colleges selected nationwide to participate in this initiative. Education Strategy Group has developed a framework and a community of practice model to address the barriers, they call it, of the 2-tier system, so the credit and non-credit side. And we have applied our internal process that we developed in terms of internal articulation and prior learning assessment, not only to supply chain, but to the construction center, as well as doing it for other areas as well. And we will be sharing all this work with the other colleges. I also want to express our thanks to our internal team, Dr. Heather DeVries, Dr. Ara Karakashian, Irma Williams, and others for getting this work done. Next slide.
Great, thank you. Another area that we were able to put forth efforts throughout this past year has been connecting non-credit programs through adult literacy programs. At Union, we created an integrated education and training program for English language learners that allowed them to participate in the Essentials of Supply Chain Management program and contextualized ESL construction concurrently. The IET program is an education model that combines occupational skills training and basic academic skills instruction to expedite the educational and career advancement of adult learners. The IET ESL curriculum provides the standard English grammar and vocabulary as it's used in the supply chain industry and aligns with the college and career readiness standards for adult education from the US DOE. This will allow us to co-enroll students in Title I and Title II programs. Union College is the Union County Title II lead agency for adult literacy and basic skills programs. So we've got a great framework here to begin piloting this program. Throughout the program, students will improve their English language skills and attain 4 SC Pro fundamental certifications and receive job search and development support. We plan to offer this program in the fall of 2023 as we've received interest from the Department of Labor, students, and our Union County American Job Center is a supporter of this initiative as we move forward in co-enrolling students between Title I and Title II programs. Rowan College of Burlington County also created an IET program for supply chain management. They combined their adult basic education program with their existing high school dual enrollment quick step program and rebranded it as an IET program for adult learners. Adult learners who complete this course can earn college credit. The program provides the opportunity for adult learners to earn their high school equivalency, attain industry value credentials, and earn college credit. And this program was piloted in the fall of 2022. Next slide, please. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sean Kirk. I'm the Associate Director here at Hudson County Community College. This is regarding the professional development task that we undertook as part of Pathway 1. Whereas supply chain professionals used to be skilled in just one area, such as procurement or manufacturing, the modern professional is required to have multidisciplinary expertise. As such, this Quick Step program was developed at Rowan College and to focus on 3 key areas and to acquaint students with the breadth of this industry. Rowan created a toolkit which explains the Quick Step program focused on supply chain logistics to assist other educational institutions to implement and market the program. The QS program gives access to special career training programs and college credits to high school seniors. The current model is made up of 3 modules: supply chain management principles, customer service operations, and transportation operations. And the next round is due to be presented in June of this year and to conclude in August. The toolkit that was created also guides education institutions in the implementation of non-credit to credit articulation and portfolio review options for prior learning assessment for the Council of Supply Chain Management Professionals SC Pro Fundamentals Certification. Prior learning assessment has the ability to decrease the number of courses a student must complete to attain their degree. And as a result, this can have a significant impact for students' lives, decreasing the time needed to earn the degree and decreasing debt accumulation. In addition, degree completion helps provide industry with a knowledgeable talent pool, and the college and colleges have the potential of increasing their completion rates. A supply chain and logistics program provides cost-effective foundational knowledge, which will advance the skills of both new entrants and current members of the supply chain workforce. SC Pro is a tiered program, starting with an entry-level industry-recognized certificate program to assess and train supply chain talent in order for them to operate at the highest level of effectiveness and establish the knowledge of the fundamentals of supply chain management, thus progressing into a tiered professional level certification program that assesses their professional knowledge, allows them to demonstrate their skills, and shows other elements of their knowledge of the integrated supply chain activities. The layout for this toolkit is based on the phases of implementation project model. This incorporates planning, developing, implementation, and launch. In each stage, there's a brief description of the process, important questions for consideration, and sample documents if applicable. Additionally, the challenges and questions that should be considered are also outlined within the toolkit. This toolkit ultimately will also help in the identification of bottlenecks and gaps in current programming, assist in monitoring the process over time and measurement against performance targets. Ultimately, it will inform ongoing strategic planning and performance management.
Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Lori. And I'm sorry, we'll move to the next. Next will be Sean presenting again, Lori Margolin and Ron Burkhardt.
Okay, good afternoon again. This is detailing the work that we've undertaken for Pathway 2 Year 1, and this focus was with working on early college credit with high schools. Hudson partnered with Jersey City Public Schools to provide non-credit classes and early college classes, which allow high school students to obtain credit. HCC partnered with JCPS in order to provide these classes, and in recognition of the significant benefits to students that the exposure to these 3 SC Pro courses could provide. Currently offered as supply chain management, warehousing, and transportation, and these are offered to 9, 10, and 11th grade students at Ferris High School. This began in the autumn of last year. The first course offered will be supply chain management for 9th grade. Each year, another grade will be added and an additional course offered. Hudson now has an approved agreement with Jersey City as a result of sharing the curriculum for the 3 supply chain courses, and an instructor was identified and has adapted the curriculum for SCM 101 in order to ensure that this matches with the high school schedule while retaining all key components and outcomes of the course. The remaining SCM courses will be offered during 23-24 academic year. The Supply Chain Management 101 dual enrollment classes began in September 22 and are being offered as a full year high school class at James J. Ferris High School and taught by an approved high school teacher. 14 students are currently registered for the course. They'll finish in June at the end of the high school year and then pick up the next course in sequence in September 23 for another full year course. Next slide, please. Oh, excuse me, Ron.
Yes, hi. Salem Community College chose to acknowledge the growth of the supply chain industry here in South Jersey, and also the possibility that it takes traditional age youths off the college path and directly into employment, but not necessarily secure quality employment. We chose to focus here on the traditional aged 18 to 24 path. In the course of this, they were exposed to coursework for Supply Chain Management 101. After they successfully completed the program, we transcripted credit, so they earned 3 credits for that. We promoted this extensively online through partnership with the Board of Social Services, the Chamber of Commerce, and the Workforce Development Board. As a result of this, we ended up having to collapse both cohorts between the traditional and non-traditional into one. And we had outcomes of students earning credits. Embedded within this, students also received college and career counseling, both to let them know about what their choices were should they decide to pursue further academics, but also what a career in the supply chain industry beyond just working in a warehouse might look like. Next slide, please.
Thank you. So Hudson County Community College is creating a new Associate of Science degree in Supply Chain Management, and this will be the first supply chain management associate degree program in New Jersey, so the first major in supply chain management. So we're really excited about that. We are developing new courses as a result of this major. There are 4 new courses being developed: supplier relationship management, project management, operations management, and procurement management, to add to our current inventory of courses. The major is expected to be available in the fall 2023 semester. College students and high school students in the early college program will be able to register for these courses once they're available in the fall. And once the curriculum has been finalized, we'll be able to reach out to our 4-year partners to develop articulation agreements, so a student can go from taking non-credit supply chain management courses to the transportation, logistics, and distribution academic certificate, the supply chain management associate degree, all the way to a bachelor's degree. And I'd like to thank our internal team, including Dr. Ara Karakashian, Dr. Heather DeVries, Alana Winslow, and others for their tremendous work on this new major. Next slide.
Hello again. The purpose of this section of Pathway 2 was to develop experiential learning that could be embedded in new and existing courses, recognizing the importance of a combination of experience and learning, that experience leads to learning, and that theoretical studies may neglect or overlook the importance of concrete experience. In order to address these issues, Rowan College at Burlington County created a toolkit for instruction to develop and document their own experiential learning experiences. The tools in this report can help create or further develop experiential learning opportunities and programs, and can be used in the current format or adapted for an institution's unique conditions. They can also be tailored to address the individual academic and accreditation requirements, take account of geographical location with reference to the makeup of the student population and the local industry present in the region. And these considerations can be aligned with the strategic goals of the institutions and take into account other funding, access, and opportunities. The toolkit is divided into multiple easily navigable sections. These include experiential learning definitions, student and supervisor evaluations. The deliverables created include experiential learning definitions, student and supervisor evaluations, employer and engagement strategies, experiential learning participation and partnership agreements, proposal processes, and the EL course. Next slide.
So in the interest of time, just want to briefly summarize. Our additional intention was to run 2 cohorts across both traditional and adult students. And as a result, we ended up compressing this down, consolidating to 1 cohort. But this was intended to be a duplicate of what we offered for the traditional students. Next slide, please.
Thank you, Ron. Thank you, Sean and Lori. Wonderful presentation. Appreciate the information and the work. And you have a shout out from Dr. Reber. Thank you. He says this is fabulous work and kudos to everyone. And I echo that sentiment as well. Let's see if we have any questions from anyone in the chat. I don't see any questions at the moment. So let me just ask, as you all look to year 2 to the horizon, are there things that you have learned out of this first year of the Pathways Initiative in the space of supply chain and logistics that may be a jumping off point for expanding or adding to opportunities in year 2? And if you're not, ready to discuss that, we don't want to divulge any trade secrets, but we certainly want to make sure that we provide our audience with any nuggets that might be helpful as they look to collaborate with our center.
So we've heard from a number of employers, and we've heard about their specific needs, because supply chain and logistics is so big, and that we were able to kind of drill down with some employers to hear about very specific roles that they may have trouble recruiting for, or that they would be interested in working with us in a year 2. I guess one of the top ones we heard was CDL drivers is definitely out there, but also logistics technician, mechanics. So there were a variety of different roles. So I think that we built this this really good foundation in this year, and that'll be a good jumping off point. So just my 2 cents on it.
Thank you. That's very helpful. And we do have a couple, Melinda, I think you had your hand up first. Floor is yours. No? Oh, okay. I have a question in the chat. Are there any programs geared towards the blue collar aspects of supply chain management? And you did mention CDL as something that you all are looking at. You also asked about PIT and foreman leadership. Anyone want to take that?
Glenn, I was just able to unmute. I apologize. It told me that someone had to unmute me, so I apologize.
No worries.
But for everyone who doesn't know who I am, I'm the Dean of Social Sciences, Business and History at Union College of Union County, New Jersey. And I oversee the supply chain credit side of the house. Our program in the beginning, while it would receive participants and students into the program, we decided to do something a little innovative this summer, and we're offering our Certificate of Achievement program, credit program, over the summer. So a person can earn their CTA starting in May, and they'll finish in August. Thanks to this group of wonderful people, I received some contacts, and I reached out to the contacts to let them know about our CTA program over the summer. And right now the courses are full, and I actually had to add more sections. So one of our plans for year 2 is, because upskilling and reskilling is so important in the industry, that the certificate program provides credentials that they could use right away. And those credentials from the CTA program will transfer right into the associate's degree, should they want to go further with that. So that's a little taste of what we're doing on the credit side of the house for the second year, is that we're going to increase the number of credentials, stackable credentials in supply chain for our supply chain majors.
Thank you. That was very helpful. And it's exciting to hear the possibilities there. I did not get a chance to have anyone address the question about other SCM, other supply chain management programs more geared towards blue collar workers, such as foreman leadership, PIT, which I'm not sure of that acronym, and then of course the CDL. Anyone want to speak to that? No, not at this time. Okay. Have another question. That someone indicated they were reviewing the website, and the council provides SC Pro certification. They work with, I think it's Community Food Bank, workforce development program to prepare students for work in the warehouse environment. And they would like to ensure that their students can get everything they need from their program. And then upon reviewing the program, they were wondering what certification is required to teach SC Pro. That I would not know.
So we can work through, we actually have spoken with the Community Food Bank of New Jersey and had conversations about offering this program. So we're happy to follow up with you to have a more in-depth discussion and answer the questions that you have. So Louis, if you want to leave us your email or contact information, we'll be sure to do that.
Yeah, and same here from Union College is we'd be happy to speak with you about this with regarding to teach the SC Pro fundamental program. That's through the at Union College, it's through the non-credit side. And so we look for a minimum of a bachelor's degree and industry experience. And I'd be happy to speak with you if you're interested in teaching the program or bringing the program on site.
Thank you both. There was a follow-up question to Thomas's question about the best way to communicate. What is the best way to communicate the difference between supply chain, logistics, and TDL? Since TDL seems to be more geared towards forklift operators and CDL, how would you distinguish between the two for someone who's interested in pursuing a career or pathway into the supply chain sector?
I think it's just another way to express it. I don't think that they each cover different areas. We kind of use those interchangeably.
I think they're used interchangeably depending on the program and how long the program has been around. I think at different times, different words have been more in favor and different phrases. So I think, as Lori has mentioned several times, it's such a broad industry sector that it covers so many different areas that there's a lot of opportunity for interpretation.
If I could follow up and clarify, when I'm speaking with potential employees, a lot of times it's very difficult to wrap heads around what exactly is entailed with logistics or supply chain management or TDL. When I say something like forklift or CDL or some of the specific subsets within the larger field, it starts clicking. But I don't know if you guys have a better approach to talking about all of the different things that TDL or supply chain logistics entails.
So my understanding is supply chain is the more overarching umbrella and could span procurement, production, distribution, customer service, and more of those softer touch fields. The transportation, distribution, and logistics is more segmented. Transportation is moving the goods around. So that can be intermodal, that could be ships, rail, truck. The distribution side is warehousing and brokerage. And then the logistic part would be the management, data analytics, tracking, and any technology that's involved in that. So supply chains over the top, and then TDL would be the subsets underneath.
Got it. Thank you.
Thank you, Ron. And I think that's always been a struggle amongst educators from our CT schools all the way through our four-year universities, are communicating some of those nuances around the supply chain logistics space. Thank you. Now I'll turn it over to Catherine for our closing remarks. Thank you again, everyone.
Thank you, Glenn. So, as you see, our community colleges and other education partners have been very busy working, I'm going to say in their spare time, on connecting these pathways and supply chain logistics. And we're very thankful for their collaboration, their expertise, and honestly, their commitment to this work. We want to thank all of you all for being here. It looks like we're going to give you a few extra minutes in your afternoon. But before you go, we'd like to ask you to provide us some feedback. I think there are 3 questions. You can use this QR code, open up your camera on your phone, telephones, your cell phones, and take a picture. It will link you to those questions. When you have a chance this afternoon, if you could please provide us your feedback. We absolutely listen to everything you tell us so that we make these meetings as engaging as possible. Next slide, thank you. Also, here's a QR code that will lead you to registration for the remaining of our April collaborative meetings. Again, each of our April collaborative meetings are focused on a different center of workforce innovation. We wanted to give our center education partners the opportunity to highlight the work and amazing collaboration that they have worked on for over a year now. And our project manager, Lauren Purnell, always asks me to ask you to follow us on social media. So here are our handles. We are posting all the time. See, she put in the chat, follow us. So again, thank you all for being here. Again, we thank the presidents of the staff and faculty of the community colleges that participate in these centers. We couldn't do all of this or be as successful as we have been this year one without them and without all of you. So thank you and have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.